That was Mingling Waters. I'd like to point out original composition by our music director, Alex Peach, which you'll witness every Sunday. And I think it's amazing, and we're lucky to have him. Good morning.
Good morning.
You've picked a great day to be at UUMAN. This is the water reunion communion service, and our people have stood at the edge of the sea, which seemed to have infinite water, or on the banks of the river, or in lakes, and brought that water here to the gathering of the water, to our communion of the water. My name is Jim Saunders. I'm a member of this congregation and your worship leader today, along with Dave Dunn, our returning minister. The Director of Religious Education, Alexi T. Brown, and our Music Director, Alex Peach, the greeters, the technical team, and those that are making the live stream possible. I would like to welcome you to the Unitarian Universalist Metro Atlanta North Congregation, which we call UUMAN. UUMAN is a liberal community with the mission to nourish our spirit, strive for justice, and transform the world. No matter who you are, who you love, or where you are on your spiritual journey, we are all welcome here. I grew up Baptist. My mother was a little upset when I became a Unitarian, but she justified about thinking I was a missionary. Welcome to all that are joining us remotely, for all visitors who are here with us for the first time. If you're comfortable to stand and say your name, we can all worship as friends. Are there any visitors on this side? Would you mind standing and tell us your name? Oh, wow. Thank you. Welcome. Any visitors on this side? Any visitors back there waving their hand?
We are here to visit Aunt Joan, our kid's godmother. Ever say hi, Joan? So I am Todd Wilms. This is our son Beckett, our son Holden, and my wife Karen. We're from California. We already had one California convert, so
We do have an announcement that there is lunch ministry today, and you'll find it written on the board outside the door as to where the location is. And our 50-50 partner for this month is August in Grove Way Community Group. They're a nonprofit organization committed to providing assistance to the elderly and the youth throughout the community, encouraging the preservation of community and values, promoting good citizenship, and encouraging participation in the affairs and issues of the community in Roswell since 1943. We will have Gail Bohannon McCoy from Grove Way here to speak with us next Sunday on August 11th. And now we have an MCY update.
Good morning. I am your DRE, Lexi Brown, and I am here because I want to share with you some very exciting updates that we have that are going to be all starting next week on the 11th for our children and youth programming. So if you haven't heard of these changes yet, the MCY has been working on this for a good 6 months. So the programs that we're offering. So there is nursery care for children 0 to 4 years old. That's available during service. Starting next week, we will have a dual path service. Please do not let my typo misfool you. It is not a dueling to the death. It is referring to a split service. And so what this means is that we will begin service with all children and youth minus nursery-aged kids. We'll do this part, we'll do Joys and Concerns, we'll sing a song or two, and then we'll have a time for all ages, TFAA. And after that time for all ages, anybody, children, youth, grown-up youth, are welcome to join the kids in the foyer. They're going to be in the fellowship hall for the next 40 minutes, however long service is, doing their own activities. We do still really need some signups for that kid community, so I have a QR code in the building next door if you will sign it and add your name to that schedule. After service, during second hour, we are resuming religious exploration at 11:15. You do need a current RE form, registration form for your kids to participate in this. Again, QR code. And so that is for pre-K all the way to high school aged. There are 4 groups. That ends at noon, at 12, the same time that adult enrichment ends. We have occasional multi-generational days, which are days that all of the children and youth participate in one activity together. Adults are invited to that as well, but you still have your own second hour going on. Other programs that we have. So it was mentioned OWL. OWL is our comprehensive sex education. It stands for Our Whole Lives. It is one of the best things that UU has ever created, and I am very biased. If you don't know, I became your DRE because I became an OWL instructor first. So we are launching OWL next week. Today is our parent orientation. So if there are any parents here for that orientation, we will be in Discovery Hall starting at 11:30. We also have a coming of age program, which is for rising ninth graders. They have activities that are sprinkled throughout the church year, ending in a credo statement at the rites of passage service. Today is our last day of summer programming. This is the only time of the year that we have youth participate in programming during service. So that concludes today. I will be answering any questions that you might have in Fellowship Hall after service.
Okay, I have a trivia question for you this morning. What was Howdy Doody's sister's name? Heidi Doody. So now I invite you to say Heidi Doody to those people around you.
Well, good morning. In case you haven't met me, or in case you've forgotten who I am Rev Dave, the minister of this congregation, and the last service I did here was on January 28th, and I did miss most. Yes, I've been on sabbatical since January 28th, and really I wanted to come back today because really I wanted to get my car washed. That's why. I'd like to thank the sabbatical committee who has worked in the worship committee, who's worked with all the different ministers and guest speakers who came in while I was gone. Amanda Brawley, who was our chair of the sabbatical committee, David Krober, Tina Alexander, Bruce Langston, and Anu Mangia. And the worship committee, worship chair, David Krober, Jim Saunders, Paula Watson, Valeria Camano, Mandy Winders, Denise Wilson, Sasha Grayenbuhl, Greg Wagner, and Valerie Bayless. They all did an outstanding job while I was gone, so thank you very much for those folks. And I also want to thank this congregation to understand and allow that a minister needs a sabbatical every once in a while. I'm starting my 9th year here, and this was my first sabbatical, and I so appreciate and grateful for this congregation to support me and while I was gone, and to be able to have the opportunity to do that. So thank you all. This morning's call to worship is by the Reverend Deborah Hafner. She writes, "Happy New Year. Happy new school year. Happy New Year for our beloved community. As a people of many ages, as people of many sexual orientations and gender identities, as people of many races and ethnicities, as people of many theologies and religious backgrounds, woven together in our love for this community, with hopes and dreams and prayers for the year before us, with our hearts and minds and spirits ready to be touched by the year before us, with our hands and time and talents ready to be offered to the year before us. We gather together at the start of this new year with gratitude and love for those who have come before us and for those who are here with us. And now let us light our chalice together.
Instead of saying the chalice lighting together, I'd like to read for you a poem by my wife, Annette Pate, that I found in trying to find something in harmony with the water communion. The pond outside my door holds the secrets of life in its dark, tannic water. Geese, hawks, birds, turtles, frogs, and deer live among the echo of traffic which evaporates in this oasis. All are nourished by the gift of water and live in harmony. Baptized in the wonder of creation, I look into the pond surrounded by wildflowers and willows and see the soul of the universe. I need nothing more. And stand as you're willing and able, turn to 1007 in your teal hymnal and sing more about water.
Although it's been a very, very long time since I went ice skating. Ice skating is something my family always did when I was growing up in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. My mom and dad were both great skaters, though my mom once fell and broke her wrist. She said, "Hey, watch this." And she fell, broke her wrist. That's very unlike my mom to ever say something like that. Have you ever noticed when somebody says, "Hey, watch this," something bad usually happens? Really, it always does. So if you hear somebody say, "Hey, watch this," just call 911. Just do it. But we always skated. My younger brother was on the varsity hockey team in high school, and one of my older sisters was like the best skater in the family. She was actually in the Ice Capades many years ago when they had those ice shows. She was in the Ice Capades and traveled all over the country. She was actually a national champion figure skater for people over 65, just like a year or two ago. Yeah. So in our backyard, we had this 20-foot by 20-foot concrete slab. It was actually part of our driveway that we never used. And in the winter, we would always get our hose out and spray it down to make ice. It took like one day to make ice. You had to hose it down, and let it freeze, then you put more water on, let it freeze, more water, let it freeze. And after a day, you had some really crappy ice. It was really bumpy. But we played ice hockey in the backyard on that rink, and it was so much fun, so many great winter days. But who knows what, when you go ice skating, do you know what it is you actually skate upon when you're skating? Anybody know? Water, yes, but what phase of the water? Solid, liquid, gas, what? Liquid, yes. You actually skate on liquid because water has a unique property that when you put pressure on it, the freezing point is lowered. And so that ice melts, and you actually skate on water, not the hard ice. There's a little more going on there. There's some friction that generates some heat as well. But basically, you're skating on water and liquid water. And that is a unique property that water has. Another unique property that water has is that when you freeze it, it actually expands. Most things, when you freeze them, they contract. And when things contract, they become more dense. But water is the opposite. We all kind of know this. You put ice tray in the freezer, and it expands. And an expanded water is less dense than water that's liquid. That's why an ice floats, for that reason. Water is one of the only things that has that property. If it did not have that property, life would probably not exist. Because water, or ice, instead of forming on tops of lakes and rivers and streams, would sink to the bottom, basically destroying all aquatic life. Water has that unique property. There aren't many substances that appear in all three phases, solid, liquid, and gas, among normal environmental conditions on Earth. We all have seen liquid water, of course, but we've all seen ice as well on cold days. And we see water vapor in the forms of clouds, which also has water droplets and ice mixed into it. It's very rare for a substance to be able to appear in all three different phases. You could see them all in the same day. Often you do. What's also weird is that water, although can be used to put out many fires, water is a product of combustion. So, in a combustion reaction, you have something like a fuel in the presence of oxygen with a catalyst like a spark or a match, and it burns, gives off heat. It also gives off mostly carbon dioxide and water. Imagine that. If you're driving down the road and you see some liquid coming out of the tailpipe of a car in front of you, that is actually condensed water. That is condensed, it was water vapor when it exploded in the car's engine, but now it comes out as water. So you brought your water today, hopefully. If you didn't, no worries. Maybe you were on vacation and you collected some water. Maybe you went kayaking and you wrung out your clothes because you took a spill and you collected that water. Maybe you captured some rainfall. It didn't rain, that had to have been in the month of July, because I know it did not rain one day in June, I swear. I had to water my plants. Maybe you brought water from your tap, or maybe you got water from the tap in the kitchen over there. Or maybe you gathered water from the tailpipe of your car. It doesn't matter. Water is the universal substance of all life, and it perhaps might be the principal medium of all of our interdependence and interconnectedness of all things. Water might be that principal medium of interdependence and interconnectedness. I believe that there's no such thing as holy water. Water can't be made holy by some pronouncement by a person. For water is inherently, by its very nature, holy in and of itself.
When somebody says, trust me, it sounds like a used car salesman. But I found when I trusted this congregation, I had a more fulfilling experience. So if you have a joy, come up and tell us about it. Let us celebrate with you. And if you have a sorrow, come up and tell us about it and let us carry the burden with you. So if you have a joy or sorrow, please come up, tell us your name and what your joy or sorrow is, and drop a pebble into the water.
Good morning. I'm Ann Bender, and I have a joy that Dirk and I were able to go visit Rick Irwin. He is in a memory care unit while Paula is away, and I found him to be very engaging. He did recognize us, asked about UUMAN, so it's really wonderful, and he was in good spirits.
Hi, I'm Valerie Bayless. I'm a member of this congregation. I have a joy and a sorrow-ish. My joy is that I have been working a contract job at Delta Airlines for the last about month and a half. As some of you know, I was out of work for quite a while, and I really want to sincerely thank everyone in this congregation who offered their assistance, their advice, resume tips, and everything else. So thank you to everyone. And then I have a sorrow. A couple weeks ago on Georgia 400, I was the filling in a 5-car sandwich. My car has been totaled, but thankfully I'm okay. And when I saw the pictures at the collision place of actually what the car really looked like, I was even more grateful that I'm okay. But now starts the hunt for a new car, which I didn't anticipate. But anyway, life is, so it goes. Thanks to everybody.
So I just have one thing, but it could be a joy or sorrow depending on your outlook and where you are in life. School starts tomorrow. So if you're a child and you're going back to school tomorrow, have fun. It'll be good. It'll be great. Don't be nervous. Be awesome. Just be nice. That's all you got to be. And if you're a parent, enjoy the peace.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Ratcliffe. A pebble of sorrow. I don't know if it's been said, but Ralph Moore, a longtime member of this congregation, passed away a couple of weeks ago. So please keep his wife, Linda, in your thoughts. And the next pebble is, I dropped a pebble last week because there were elections in Venezuela. That's where I grew up. And it's a whole mess. Some people say one guy won, and the other people say the other guy won. And in the middle, the country is in turmoil. So please keep Venezuelans in your hearts.
I'm Shelley Negrani. I'm a member of this congregation, and I have a joy that yesterday I was, for the first time in a long time, really empowered and hopeful by going out and canvassing for the presidential election. It was great.
Hi, I'm Alex Peach, and my pronouns are he, him, and his. This is a pebble of joy and celebration because it's for you all, because there's room up here for you, and anyone can join the choir, and I'm thrilled that the choir is back. And Dave, I've missed you, so it's good to be back, y'all.
And I'm going to drop one final pebble for those joys and sorrows that we keep in our hearts, or the people at home that are not here to tell us about it. I don't know of any synonym for water relates to cash, but now is the time when we share our treasures with each other. We'll have the morning offering.
We accept this sacred offering generously given by our beloved members and friends, and may we use it wisely and judiciously in service to our mission.
Good morning. I'm Martin Podorowski, UUMAN Board President. Today, we reflect on the transcendent values that we've chosen as a congregation: wonder and awe, connection, love, courage, and justice. As we embark on a new church year together, we rededicate ourselves to our mission to nurture our spirit, strive for justice, transform the world. We begin anew.
And I'm David Krober. Sarah couldn't be here today, so I'm going to read the recommitment to ministry on behalf of her for the Program Council. Today, we rededicate ourselves to the vision of this congregation to be a vital and visible community for all, bravely working toward the day when social, economic, and environmental justice is a reality. It is through the shared ministry that we undertake together, the work that we do with love, compassion, and patience, that we hope to make this vision a reality in our congregation, in our community, in our nation, and in the world.
all. Sounds awesome. I missed that. Let us honor the commitment of all those whose bold vision and steadfast action have brought us to this day. None of us ministers alone. We are here with and for one another. Strong currents in the roaring river of life that we cherish. Now, using this water gathered in this very ritual from years past, we charge this vessel. May it bless us in the years to come. Adapted from the Tao Te Ching. The highest motive is to be like water. Water is necessary for all living things. It asks nothing in return, yet humbly flows to the lowest level. Nothing is weaker than water, yet against those things that are strong and hard, nothing can surpass it or stand in its way. May we all learn the ways of water. Now we understand that not all of you are here today with water. No worries. As Unitarian Universalists, we encourage the use and exercise of our imaginations. Please feel free to participate in this ritual imaginatively, virtually. All are included, and that means all of us. Now let us be still together in this moment. Close your eyes if you wish. Now, holding your container of water, real or imagined, connect with that part of yourself that lies deep within. The part that is undefined by anyone other than yourself. The self that you know to be just exactly who you are. Now take a moment to think about all that your heart brings to this community this morning. Your hopes, your dreams, your prayers. Let the love flow from your heart until you are filled with its energy. Let your holy water absorb the sacredness of you and that which you love. Imagine this water, which will soon mingle, holds the energy for you and for all of us. When the waters merge into one, we are once again brought into the embrace of this loving community. Let us join one another now in a moment of shared silence. Amen.
We bring waters from the four directions. Water from the north, from icy seas and frozen lands, water that commingles and is part of the water of the globe. Bless these waters, that they may be healing waters. May the waters make us new. May those representing the north, this is going to be this section against the wall over here, come forward and share a few drops of your water if you have brought any.
We bring waters from the east, from monsoons and sacred pools. Bless these waters, that they may quench our thirst, now and evermore. May the waters make us free. May those representing the east, this section here, come forward and share a few drops of your water.
We bring waters from the south, from summer showers and warm lagoons. Bless these waters, that they may bring us back to ourselves. May the waters make us whole. May those representing the south come forward and share a few drops of your water.
We bring waters from the west, from dry places, water especially precious for its scarcity. Bless these waters, for they restore us to community once again. May the waters make us one. May those representing the west come forward and share a few drops of your water.
is heavy. Let me move over here. May this holy water that carries and holds the spirit of all that we are and all that we love mingle in sacred communion and bless all that it touches in the years to come. And before it touches anyone, I will take this home and boil it. Okay? So it will be boiled.
And now, if you can stand and sing number 1028 in the teal hymnal. Before we extinguish the chalice, I just want to tell you that I averted disaster this week. I got a note from Dave Dunn saying that I should be working on commission this week, which I thought referred to the offering. So I was all excited. And then he said, that was contrition. So I'm sorry for my greed. Let us join together and extinguish the chalice lighting with the words found in the order of worship. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth. the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we meet again.
Can't you hear me calling? Can't you hurry now? I need a little water every little once in a while. Bring me little water, Sylvie. Bring me little water now. Bring me little water, Sylvie. Every little once in a while. Every little once in a while. Every little once in a while.
Peace, joy, pain, love, tears, strength. It's all in here. It's all in here. It's all bound up in these sacred waters. May these waters sustain us, nourish us, and extend us into a new realm of possibility. May it measure a love we hold dear. Go in peace and enjoy your week.